Welcome everyone. Cristina Monti is already ready to present. My name is David Osimo from Open Evidence. We are in the consortium which works for the European Commission to implement the Global Internet Policy Observatory. This webinar is the first in a series of webinars aiming at involving the community in discussing and helping to build the GIPO Observatory. The webinar of today is organized as follows. We will have the presentation from Cristina Monti of the European Commission that you already see on screen on the overall goal of GIPO. We will then have Luis Mejuero from CTIC, who will present the actual technologies and the technological plan to implement GIPO. And then we have an intervention by Stefan Verhoes, who is implementing the Net Mundial solution, which is pursuing goals similar to GIPO. And at the end, we will have an open discussion, and everyone is free to raise your hand and ask for the floor. Now, just let me give you some technicalities. This platform allows any participant to submit questions. You all have a question button that you can use. I see that someone has already used it. You can use this question to answer questions to the speakers or to signal any problem. I will be forwarding the questions to the speaker immediately after their presentation. So we will have a question and answer session after each presentation. We also monitor Twitter in case you want to use the hashtag GIPONet. After presentation and the rounds of question and answers, we will have a full open mic session where anyone can make structural statement about what you have heard so far. So feel free to use the question also to submit problems and doubts that you have. You can use the question button during the presentation. There is no problem. You can pose the question anytime. So without further ado, let me give the floor to Cristina Monti from the European Commission, who is the first presenter. Cristina, the floor is yours.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes,
can
we
you
hear
me?
you well.
Okay. Well, thank you, David,
Perfectly well.
for the introduction. And thank you, everybody, for participating in this first introductory webinar. I think I have around 10 minutes to give you an overview of the main idea of GIPO, what GIPO is, and the purpose behind this initiative. So, okay. The whole purpose of GIPO is the idea to provide technical tools which can make information widely and easily accessible to support internet policy and governance. So GIPO aims to allow a more inclusive participation of all stakeholders, including those with limited resources. The idea is not really new, because in internet governance discussion we had already some recommendations on the need to have this kind of tools. For instance, the working group on improvement to the Internet Governance Forum recommended the establishment of such an observatory as something positive and welcome. And also, more recently, for instance, during the Net Mundial meeting, which many of you, I guess, know very well, it has been a very important meeting representing an important milestone in the internet governance evolution. And in the outcome statement of that meeting, it was recognized the need to have tools to perform ongoing monitoring, analysis, and information sharing functions. But why is is such a tool needed? I mean, as the internet becomes more and more important for our lives and our economies, the number of policy areas impacted continues to expand and to touch an ever-increasing number of domains and topics. And on top of this policy complexity, we also have the institutional complexity of internet governance, because the way the internet functions is quite multi-layered and complex due to its distributed and multi-stakeholder nature. And so this complexity can be an objective obstacle for many actors and for many stakeholders in effectively participating in discussions and also in processes where decisions are made. Just to give you a very concrete example, now there is an issue which is quite topical in internet governance discussions, which is the IANA stewardship transition and the discussion around the accountability of ICANN. And here I'm showing you an interesting infographics that highlights that just for this topic, and in approximately 1 year, there have been 365 working hours dedicated to discussing these issues, with more than 17,000 emails and 200 calls and meetings with events around all over the world. So you can understand quite easily that not all stakeholders have the resources and the capacity to analyze and to follow all the information that might be very, very relevant and interesting for them. So this is what is behind the idea of GIPO, the idea to increase expertise and understanding among all actors, in particular those who feel marginalized in internet debates and decisions. But I think that many of you will share the concept that also for those who have the resources, the amount of information sometimes is really overwhelming. And one way to address this challenge is really to use the opportunities that the ICT technologies can offer us. So through capacity building, we aim at build confidence, and this will lead to more informed discussions, and in the end, this will help us also get closer in our position. So the overall idea of GIPO is really that to provide an online platform to automatically collect, analyze, and visualize real-time information on internet policy developments and decisions across the world. So this platform will help to identify links between different fora and discussions, and also to identify policy trends and provide easy-to-use information by incorporating modern visualization techniques. And I guess we will know more about these tools in the presentation by Luis after me. But in short, the concept of GIPO, as you can see here in this slide, is really the idea to apply advanced technologies, like for instance data mining, semantic analysis, and data visualization to data which is already available, and in this way we aim at overcoming the problem of information overload and fragmentation that I referred to just before. We in the Commission, we identified some core principles which should be at the basis of such a tool, like for instance the idea of using open source software. The tool should be modular, so to allow also different technologies to be added on later on, and also, you know, to focus on some specific core functions, but to provide always the possibility for third parties to develop further functionalities. And again, Luis, I think will go in much more detail on these aspects. Just a final word on the role of the Commission. the Commission thinks that, I mean, this is a very important project, and that's why we asked for a feasibility study last year, just to analyze the available technologies which could be of help to develop such a tool, and also to start launching the discussion with interested partners. And then we decided to provide some initial funding to launch the project, and that's how we selected, through an open tender procedure, we selected a consortium which is now helping us to develop the technical platform. And then I would also like to highlight that the Commission continuously seeks to involve other partners and stakeholders, as we believe that this should not be a Commission-only initiative. We aim here to provide a tool for the global community, and that is why we reach out to other partners. And in particular, through this series of webinars and other activities, we aim at building also a GIPO community which could provide input and ideas and expertise to develop the tool. In particular, we are also interested in having possible user case scenarios, so I would be very much interested in ideas also from the participants on how such a tool could facilitate your lives. And also I call on you to spread information across your respective constituencies and communities. And I guess that's all from me at the moment. Thank you very much, and looking forward to an interesting discussion with all of you.
Thank you very much, Christina, also for respecting very well the time. So Christina has presented the strategic goals of GIPO, and we now give the floor to Luis Mejuero from CTIC, who is, together with Open Evidence and P.A.U, who is leading the consortium, working on the actual technological solution to make it happen. So Luis will tell us a bit more about the work they've been doing, and will share with you their ideas and the progress. Luis, the floor is yours.
Thank you, David. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today and participating with us. I'm going to explain you in more detail what are the technological components and in general the technological architecture of the GIPO tool. Well, the main challenge of this platform is to serve as the global platform for the internet policy monitoring, and this goal implies a number of difficult challenges. These are only one of the various challenges, like the heterogeneous information sources. You have sources from different countries, from different technological kind of sources, such as web pages or web services, and also documents, and so on. We have also many sources. It's a global project, so our aim is to cover all the world. So we will have to face a problem of scalability, and also we have a problem of multilingualism, because we want not only to cover English language or the most spoken languages in the world, because we want to be inclusive, and we want to be every country and every individual to be represented. So we have to face this question. And also we want to offer a tool for everyone, open to all, open using the open access and open data technologies. So to tackle these challenges, we will have to use some main groups of technologies, like the ones you can see. One is automatic data collection and analysis, also using semantic technologies to try to classify and to automatically understand by a machine what the content is about. We will apply web standards, trying to ensure that the information is visualized, is spread in every computer, independently of the device and the screen size and so on. And we will also rely on the open data technologies and philosophy, because we will use these standards also in the sharing of the content using open services that can get the content provided by the GIPO platform and also use it for another new development or as an input source for much analysis and detail. As Christina said, all these technologies that we are going to use, we plan to use, are open source. So it's a proposal, an initial proposal that we've just started to work. Is this? You can see the main architecture proposal in this graphic. You can see there are modules. Modules is more a conceptual part of this architecture, and there are also components. Components are more specifically the technologies that we are going to apply inside each of these modules. You can see also different colors. We've tried to represent different things. One is that you can see some modules and also components that we try to show in green color that we think that are open to community debate. As you know, we want every individual to have a voice, and we want to hear proposals, especially technical proposals, because there are many different approaches to solve the same problem. So we are not going to develop the platform with only from our own idea. We want collaboration, and this webinar and the future workshops are aimed to do this. And you can also see in another different color, the magenta color, that we use it to represent what specific parts will be custom developed from the ground up. So we will not rely maybe in a packet of technology that we only just have to configure. No, in this case, we will begin with the full development. Okay. So, sorry. I will explain every component, every module. We have the front end. The front end is the main module. This is the module that a user approaches when he goes to the. We will go to the link, to the GIPO link, and defines the web interface that we will implement using Drupal 7 on an Apache HTTP server. And then users will be interacting with it, and among other functionalities, this front end we have a front office with including a dashboard for any user, unregistered user. You don't need to register to the platform to use these functionalities, and we will provide searching, view, and commenting functionalities to every item of information compiled and presented by the tool. From here, the user will have access to data visualizations, different kind of data visualizations like tree maps, timelines, or maps. And also a user will have the opportunity to comment about the sources and the filtering of those sources, the filtering algorithms. This is an important part for us, that the users can see in a transparent way how the the tool is gathering all those massive information and why chooses this information based on what and what decision is automatically made. And the most important part is that any user can have their voice and propose new sources or even suggest corrections to the filterings. And the user will have also the possibility to configure and make a custom dashboard combining visual part and also list of items with which comes from search functionalities. Also, there will be a back office services, back office part that will be only available to register users, mainly a team of people dealing with the construction of those filtering algorithms, with the adding of new sources. And also a very important part is that these kind of special users will have the maintenance of categorization and ontology for data linking and extraction. Going ahead, the other important module is the visualizer. As I said, in the front end, the user will have at his hands different kind of graphics. Those graphics are powered by this module. This module offers this kind of visualizations. What this module makes is retrieving the information, the data directly from another module, that is the analyzer module, and will render the diagrams using libraries like this one. That's the first library we've chosen to render the information. We also have a module that we call the balancer. As I said before, there's a scalability problem. As you can imagine, if we begin to add sources and sources of information, that can be a very big list. So maybe it's not possible only with one server to get all this information and work with it. So in this case, we need to add new machines, new servers that can cater with all those processes. This module, what makes is try to dispatch these different processes that the front end launches because of the user action, and dispatch it as a task to be consumed by any machine available, any that can handle it. So we have a task producer using a useful Java message service, and we will rely on an open source solution that is called Apache Kafka as a message server that will dispatch this task to the next module. The next module that receives this task is the fetcher. The fetcher is the module that really gets the information, the data, the documents from the sources of information. And we will have 3 submodules, we can call it, that can get this information from 3 different primary types of content sources. One is the crawler collector. The crawler collector is intended to extract information directly from websites. Websites are usually for humans, not for machines. So we will use scrapping techniques. That's the word that usually is said. It's something that, for instance, the data journalists are used to get this information from web pages that does not offer web services or APIs that would imply that a machine could consume the data. So we have to use these techniques and a crawler connector to get the information. We have also the more useful for a machine way to collect data, that is the